If you want to make a hell of a lot of money, have a lot of free time, and change the world, the best business to start from nothing is a coaching business. I'm fortunate to make millions in profit every single year and work less than 20 hours per week. And I also get to change the lives of people all around the world. Now, in this video, I'm going to share the key insights and marching steps that are required to build a super profitable coaching business. Now, before I go into this, I want to just give you some quick high-level facts around a coaching business and why you should seriously consider it. Number one, they have next to zero startup cost. If you've got a laptop, access to the internet, and a social media profile, you can pretty much get started. Number two, they grow really fast. Getting to 10 or 20K per month is actually very achievable inside 30 to 90 days. No other business is going to allow you to get to that level as fast. Never mind the fact that the majority of that money is margin, and you can get it to 30, 40K per month pretty much with you, an assistant, and a web guy. That's pretty much it. They're super lean, they're flexible, they're mobile, and they give you a ton of freedom. You can literally open your laptop, open your iPad from wherever you are in the world and decide what hours you want to work. They really allow you to become your own boss. And most importantly, coaching is one of the most powerful tools in the world to create transformations and change people's lives for the better. So it really gives you a lot of power for yourself and for helping other people win at life. Here's what I'm going to teach you. The first thing is the high-level marching steps that are required to get this business off the ground and what's required to run it every single day. And the main thing that I'm going to give you in this video is how to actually turn your mess into your message and ultimately a coaching program that is going to change lives. The first thing that you need before you start any coaching business isn't a marketing tip, isn't 100 million leads, isn't 100 million offers. It is actually a strong vision. If you have a strong vision of where you want to take this business, what you want success to feel like for you, and what you want your numbers to be, that gives you clarity. It gives you a target. Without a target, you will not know what you are doing. You will not know why you need to put yourself out there, why you need to get out of bed in the morning, and ultimately you will procrastinate. When you have a strong vision, it's going to give you energy. Vision is what gives you energy, and that's the most important thing. If you don't have that in place, you can't grow a business. So here's a couple of really simple steps that I want to give you when it comes to crafting a vision. Go and look at your market. Go and look at the problem that you're solving for them. Find 1 to 3 people that are really doing it well and look at them for inspiration. Look at what they do well, look at what they don't do well, and ask yourself, how can I do it better? And most importantly, what is different about me? And just because somebody is at the top of the game in your field doesn't mean that you can't be top of the field in your game. In fact, here's something that I need you to realize. There's an infinite amount of clients for an infinite amount of coaches. There is no way on earth that all the people inside your market, the people that you could help, can work with that one coach. And in fact, many of them probably don't even like that person because they just simply aren't aligned with their values. And that's where your opportunity lies. And if anything, anyone at the top of their game in your field is actually demonstrating to you what is possible for you. So you really have to look at your belief and mindset around abundance, creating opportunity for yourself first and foremost. Get your inner game right before you start focusing on the outer game. And that's what I'm going to talk about now. So the outer game of business is going to involve a series of steps. And one of the most important steps that you need to take every single day is to attract attention. Not all attention is created equal. You want to attract the attention of your target market. And you do that by creating content on social media, telling people what you do, what it will do for them, and how they can get it. I'm not going to go into all the funnels and how to do a sales call right now. I'm going to cover that in other videos. I'm giving you the high level overview of how this all works. But when you use your phone, When you use your laptop to create content, whether that's written content, whether that's spoken content, whether that's video content, it allows you to express what you do to the world. And when people get to see that, they get to see what you're about, they get a feel for you. And in order to do that, you've got to create a message, and that message revolves around your personal story. People want to model you, and that is one of the most important things that I'm going to teach you in the later part of this video, is why should people invest in you? And they invest in you because of your story and the skills that you've acquired from that story that you've now packaged into a coaching program that people want to use. Now, when you attract attention by putting yourself out there, telling your story, telling people why you're different, telling people what you're going to do for them, and when you start getting clients telling their story and how they've benefited from working with you and sharing insights and value to your marketplace that gives them the insight, oh, I can do something about my problem. I'm going to try out something that's been recommended to me by Phil Graham. And when they try it, they solve a problem. Your content should be that good that it solves problems for people, i.e. it helps them get unstuck, either in their mind or in their business or in the very activity or thing that they love doing. And here's the thing, whenever you share value on social media, it should actually be designed to solve a problem but create another problem. So just like this video right now, I'm helping you solve the problem of confusing and not knowing what business to start. But when I actually run through this and give you the steps, I can give you all the information and the ideas, but the most important thing that you really need is implementation. And that is ultimately what you charge for when you run a coaching business, is you charge for the implementation and accountability. That is why it is a really good idea to share your best stuff out there, because when you share your best stuff out there, it lets people know that you've got the experience, the expertise, and the guidance to get them to where they want to go to. And whenever you share that, they realize that you are the go-to person and you become an authority. Now, whenever you attract attention, right, this is ultimately what you do. You create demand. So if you start talking about the area that you are a master of, that you have experience of, that you have skills in, and how to win in it, people are going to start perking up that are also interested in that. And one of the most important things when it comes to generating attention is to get in front of people that are the pain point that you solve. So figure out where they hang out, who's already got that audience, and get in front of them. Do seminars, do workshops, share tips, share insights. Ask people that run these groups and communities, hey, do you mind if I get in front of your audience and share 10 minutes of value, or even run a 60-minute workshop on how to do this and that? When you get in front of those people and you share those insights, people are going to position you as an expert, as an authority, especially if your content's good. If you don't attract attention, you're going to be the best kept secret. And if you're the best kept secret, nobody knows who you are and nobody will buy from you. And as a result, you won't get the feedback to know that your actual insights, experience, and way of navigating the world and solving the problems for that particular market are actually valued. And it's one of the worst ways to actually just decommission yourself and render yourself absolutely useless. You have got a moral and ethical responsibility to tell the world what you do, what it will do for them, and how they can get it. The next thing you've got to focus on is making offers. As I always say, an offer a day keeps your bank balance healthy. If you make offers, you're going to generate cash flow. If you don't make offers, well, in Northern Ireland, we call it skint. You're not going to make any money. And if you don't make any money, again, you're not getting feedback from the marketplace that your insights are valuable. And ultimately, you can't grow your business. So making offers is incredibly important, and you do that by first attracting attention, getting the right people around you that are interested in the very thing that you do, telling them what you do and what it will do for them and how they can get it. And the how they can get it is a conversation. So something very simple is at the end of a talk or at the end of a social media post, you will post what is called a call to action. If you're interested in achieving X result in the next time frame, 90 days, drop me a message and we'll have a chat. For example, if you're a health and fitness coach, you might ask somebody, hey, what are your health and fitness goals for the next 3 months? And they might come back to you with, well, I want to lose this, I want to get in shape, I want to get my abs, I want to double my bench press, whatever it is. The second question is, how's that working for you? Get them to reveal their actual progress. And you will find that the majority of people will not be hitting those goals. That's the very reason why they're consuming your content. That's the reason why they're in a dialogue with you, is to solve their problems faster. You bring one thing: speed. And when they start telling you, well, it's going okay, I've been in and out of it, that's your opportunity to say, would you like my help? And whenever they say yes, that gives you the opportunity to say, okay, here's the deal. Let's grab a call between X and Y time. Here's what we're going to run through: your biggest challenges, what's holding you back, and how we can work together. And if you like the sound of it, we can agree on a mutual start date. Sound fair enough? Let me know. That's called making an offer to have a conversation around the sale. The next part is actually just communicating what your program is, what it does, over a phone call, or it can even be over a Loom or some kind of video message that really just outlines what you do. But essentially, you've made an offer there. Would you like my help? The next offer that you're going to make is actually on that conversation. Now, I'm not going to go into how a sales call is conducted here or how to conduct a Loom that sends people a sales message and gives them an offer at the end. But I really want you to get the gist, is that you've got to ask people, do you want my help? And when it comes to the ultimate end in the sale, it's like, where do you want to go from here? Would you like to partner with us? Would you like to partner with me? Would you like to get started? That is an example of an offer, okay? And the next piece is then you've got to support clients. Once you get clients inside your coaching program, you've got to fulfill on the needs and ultimately help them solve their problems faster than they can themselves. And when you focus on supporting clients, you end up creating happy customers, happy clients that go and refer and stay and pay for a very long time. If you don't, you develop a bad rep. Now, there comes a point when you start taking on clients where it gets to a level where it's too much to deal with by yourself, and you need to start building a team. Now, I'm going to share some short insights on that in the next piece, but what I want you to realize is when you start building a team, whether that's a personal assistant, whether that's somebody to do your websites, whether that's somebody to do your graphic design, whether that's somebody to do your video editing, whether that's somebody to help you support coaching your clients, you've got to lead that team. And if you lead that team, it gives you more capacity. And when you have more capacity, you can do more things. If you don't have capacity and everything is built around you, you burn out. So what I want you to realize is that throughout the course of scaling this business, you have to have a strong vision, you have to attract attention, you have to make offers regularly, you have to support the clients that buy from you, and you've also got to lead your team so that you can focus on the main areas that you're strongest at. And that is what gives you capacity to keep growing. You stop growing when one of these areas breaks down. So if you don't have a vision, you can't go to the next level because you're not clear on what you're communicating. If you're not communicating to the market and actually marketing your message and putting it out there and asking people would they like help, nobody's going to see you. If you're not making offers, you're not going to get paid. If you're not getting paid, you can't run the business. If you're not supporting clients and just selling people a dream and then running away or not fulfilling on what you've actually made out for them, then you're going to develop a bad reputation, and over time you're not going to grow the business. And if you're not using the money that you make in your business to build a team and you're not communicating or leading with that team, then guess what? You're going to waste money, or you're going to create a serious health problem for yourself because you're going to burn out and eventually start resenting the business. So if you're watching this through the lens of starting from nothing, start at vision. If you're watching this through the lens of you already have a coaching business, you have a few clients, what level are you stuck at? And in order to go to the next level, you've got to complete the actions that I've just shared with you. Now we've got the high level marching steps out of the way, I want to run you through the most important thing that you've been waiting for. And that is, what exactly are you going to sell people? And how does it work? What are the deliverables like, etc.? Well, let me map that all out for you. So what you're essentially selling is going to be some kind of program, course, or mastermind. essentially where you bring a bunch of like-minded people together and you solve problems for them through in-person coaching, events, technology, videos, Zoom calls, and a combination of elements of one-to-one. And you can decide how much one-to-one, how much group coaching, how many events that you want to run. That is entirely down to you. The most important thing is that it solves a problem, and you know what it takes to solve that problem, and it's going to be an art and a science and a feedback exercise for you over time to add a little bit of this, stop a little bit of that, and tweak it over time. I want to make this really, really clear. I'm giving you the framework of how to unpack your brain and turn it into one of these, a program, a course, or a mastermind, or a high-ticket group coaching program. You will then need to test it in the marketplace and adjust it accordingly so that it suits your lifestyle. That's the most important thing about building a coaching business, is that it suits your lifestyle. If it doesn't suit your lifestyle, you're not going to be able to sustain it. And if you're not able to sustain it, you're going to end up being resentful, you're going to end up making mistakes, and you're going to end up giving a shitty service to your clients. So let's talk about how to actually get your message clear on what you're actually going to be doing for people. And the first thing that we've got to focus on is the who, and that is you. We call it the founder. And when we look at developing the who, the founder, here's what we've got to realize. We've got to look at their life circumstances. And I'm going to create two circles, two smiley faces. There's life before and there's life now. The life before was a mess. The life now is order. And this journey, if you think of the 5 most messy events in your life, you were out of shape, you were unhealthy, you had a terrible relationship, your business was in the dumps, to now, what are your most proudest achievements? We want the contrast. So go through the top 5 or even the top 10 underneath mess and the top 5 to 10 under order, your victories. And there's a polarity, there's a contrast. This polarity has allowed you to develop skills and experience. And this is essentially the what. So essentially, this is going to be the program or the thing that you're selling. And whenever we look at these skills and experience that you've picked up along the way, what exactly are you going to give people? Like, what is the core outcomes? So it might be some examples: confidence around how to do something, clarity, speed, etc. But typically, whenever you help someone, you upgrade 3 things: their beliefs, their skills, and their strategy. And they feed into the core outcomes. So knowing the core outcome of your coaching program is absolutely critical. For example, I help fitness entrepreneurs around the world build and grow and scale their businesses. And we give them clarity so they know what they're building, confidence, we develop their skill sets around how to market, how to sell, how to build teams, and that ultimately gives them the strategy to grow. And we put the marching steps together. The last thing is the how. And the how is the mechanism. And the mechanism is essentially your program, your course, your mastermind, the very thing that does it. And there are 5 core things that are built into that. 1, how do you create planning for clients? How do you give them a plan? How do you create them a structure? And if you're getting somebody from point A to point B, there are going to be a series of marching steps that are required in order for that to happen. So what does that plan look like? How is that plan delivered? Is that developed over a series of weeks? Is that a personalized plan that you do one-to-one with the client? Again, these are all considerations that you have to think about. The more one-to-one in your program, the more you're going to charge. The less one-to-one in your program, the less you can charge. It's more course-based and they get to do it themselves. Number two is some kind of training. And the training is essentially building their skills. That can be pre-recorded or that can be recorded live and then banked up and left pre-recorded inside a members portal that's then organized into the correct sections and areas. And that training can be delivered live in person, that training can be delivered over Zoom, that training can be delivered over events, etc. The next thing is accountability. How are you going to provide accountability? So what are the metrics that you want to be measuring with your clients, and where can they report them? Where can they see them? Where can you check up on them to ensure progress? So for example, in the world of health and fitness, how do you keep somebody accountable? You look at their step count, you look at the amount of times that they're training, you look at their body weight, and you look at their physical progress photos. Those are the areas that need to be measured and ultimately dictate the direction of where things are going. 4 is support. So what level of support are you going to provide? Are you going to provide one-to-one support? Are you going to provide group support? Are you going to provide both? How are people going to ask questions? Are you going to use a Facebook community? Are you going to use School? Are you going to use Discord? What platform works? And when are you going to access it? That's one of the most important questions that you've got to ask is, when am I going to access it? For me, I do support between 10 and half 10 every single morning for my clients. I have a team that do it outside of those hours. But I have built a business that I only go in and work at key times that I know I'm at my best. And my team is also there that I've built out over time to help reinforce that support. And number 5 is community. So what do you want your community to be about? What kind of people do you want in there? And how are you going to bring them together? Are you going to run events every 90 days? Are you going to run those events every 6 months? I'm going to be creating training assets on this YouTube channel, so it's really important that you subscribe and like this video to give me feedback that I'm actually doing a really good job, so that you can stay up to date of how to build these areas out for your coaching business. So those are the 5 components that ultimately make up the mechanism, the program, the course, the pill that's going to solve people's problems. And I always like breaking it down. Whenever you look at all of this together, there's a series of things that are really going to put it on steroids and ultimately allow it to go to the next level. Number 1 is creating the future identity for your market. For me, personal trainers and gym owners was considered a dropout career. I always used to remember my mum was confused when people asked her, what does Philip do? And I said, Mum, tell everyone I'm a fitness entrepreneur. I run a fitness business and I'm an entrepreneur. That is the identity that I wanted to create for myself. And I created that identity for the health and fitness market. So fitness entrepreneur was the identity. And there was a element of pride, an element of significance, an element of status around that identity for coaches around the world. They wanted to embrace that. What is the identity that you want to create for your market? And that identity is exactly who you are now. The second thing is the mechanism, so the name of the very thing that's going to help them achieve that, and the format. Is it going to be a group-based coaching program? Is it going to be a one-on-one mentoring program? Is it going to be a course? And all of the components that I went through there, the plan, training, accountability, support, and community, will make up all of those mechanisms, except the one-to-one. The only community piece is between you and them. And then the third thing is the social proof. Future identity, mechanism, and social proof. You dial those 3 things in and you will create a remarkable business that transforms lives, including your own, makes you a shit ton of money, and also gives you the flexibility to work with who you want, whenever you want, and ultimately give you your freedom. I truly believe coaching businesses are the best business model on the planet for those of you that want to do all of that, and the only thing that's stopping you is yourself. So if you find this video useful, remember to click like, click subscribe, tag a friend that needs to hear this. Please do that. If you don't do that, I'm going to stop creating these videos. I give a ton of value and insight away in the hope that you guys help spread my message, put me out there, and I can go and speak around the world and tell people the power of coaching businesses. So please, if you haven't already, go and do that right now, because it means the world to me. It gives me feedback that you're listening and that these are useful. Until the next time, see you soon.